Assumption of mortgage. Method of taking over a mortgage. Borrower and original mortgagor are both responsible for the loan and liability for any deficiency after foreclosure. Joint responsibility. Abstract of title. A history of property ownership. Title summarizing all instruments in chain of ownership provided by lender's attorney and paid by borrower.
Accretion. Increase of property by gradual natural additions, usually wind or water.
Acre. 43,560 square feet. Amortization.
The payment of a debt in equal installments. Each payment is the same, and pays down the debt over time, with a portion of each payment going to the principal and interest on the loan. Assignee. Person receiving a portion of rights or obligations under someone else's contract. Bequeath. To transfer personal property in a will. Capitalization rate. Cap rate profit expressed as a percentage that an investor expects from an investment on a yearly basis. A rate of return. Chain of title. The history of ownership for a piece of property. HELOC. Home equity line of credit, also known as equity line of credit, equity loan, or open-end mortgage. Borrower is given a line of credit against the equity in their home junior lien. Inverse condemnation. If government action in taking neighboring land leads to a decrease in property value, the property owner can claim compensation. Novation. The cancellation of contract and the replacement of it by a new one. POB.
Point of beginning, POB. The starting point in a meets and bounds description of property, either from a monument or a reference point on the street. The description begins and ends at the POB.
Quitclaim deed.
Also known as non-warranty deed. Grantor not liable for any claims against title. Conveys only whatever interest grantor has at the time of title transfer. Can be used to correct mistakes on a deed or in bank foreclosures.
Severalty.
Ownership by one person. Bait and switch.
Form of fraud where an agent advertises a certain property that may or may not be available with the intention of switching it out for something more expensive or lower quality when the client comes into the office to view. Prohibited under licensing law. Assessed value. Also known as tax value, value given to realty by assessor's office for property taxation purposes. Deficiency judgment. Court award to a lender if an auction sale does not fully pay off a debt. DE. Department of Environmental Protection. Devices. Heirs receiving real property. Courtesy. Rights of husband to share in wife's realty upon her death only. Dower is rights of wife to share in husband's realty upon his death. Both these rights are life interests only. Constructive eviction. Tenant may vacate a property and end their obligations under a lease if the landlord violates the covenant of quiet enjoyment, making the premises unfit for tenancy. CERC. Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation and Liability Act of 1980 Federal Superfund Act cleans up contaminated sites where hazardous materials have been dumped. holds responsible parties liable for cleanup. Bilateral contract. One person's promise in exchange for another person's promise, such as purchase and sale agreement,